Oh, g'day, champions. What's going on? Are we live? You tell me. Getting back into this Princeton. I think we've got audio. Everything's good. Can you hear me? Is everything sweet? 11 drop frames. That's pretty good in the scheme of things. Just decided to do a random live-o. Just to, you know, keep your interest levels up. I thought you'd never get to see me live. Bear with me for a sec. I just got to mute the mic for a sec. There we go, legends. Just had to put a little, try to use just a single earpiece, but it sort of flops around a bit when you're moving. If you're sitting still, it'll be alright. Looks like a DIY amp kit. Well, it kind of is now, Jerry. It's kind of that. Oh, I've tangled my cable up again. Let me just open up the shop. It's a bit early, but gotta turn on my neon sign. Now, I think with this headset, I can put on background music without copying a copyright warning, whatever. Okay, let's get down and dirty with this thing. I've done the majority of the cleaning. You guys saw the video, so I'll just do the grunt work. I didn't really want to do a video of the whole process of repopulating the board because it's a little bit tedious. But I'll do it on stream, because once the stream's gone, no one really watches them after, so. Let's put some background music on so the shop doesn't feel like an alien, weird place. If we get any customers. Oh, here's one now. Oh no, that's next door. It's funny, the plight of a musician. Whenever I see a really nice car drive in, I know they're going to the air conditioning shop next door. Whenever I see a car with missing hubcaps and like different coloured panels and that, go, oh, here's a customer for me. And sure enough, pretty much every time it's me. All right. So, I wasted pretty much all of yesterday on that fucking Kenwood thing, the KA6100. Did a recap, then found that one of the low voltage rails, they use discrete transistors to regulate it. And one of them had gone short circuit from input to output, so that had delivered 46 volts to the 26 volt rail, caused some damage. as well as, you know, itself being damaged. And because it had gone short circuit, it had destroyed the Xena that was in the tail of it to regulate it. What else was there? There was like 6 things stopping signal. So there was that. There was another blown transistor. There was a tantalum that went short circuit, so I replaced them. There's only 2 tantalums. The speaker relay had failed. Dirty contact, so I removed that. Used my little contact cleaner thing, and that came good. Then one of the other switches had failed, so I had to take it apart and clean that. Put it back together, and then I found that the volume pot PCB had been hacked by someone else, despite being assured that no one's ever worked on this thing. So that was the main volume pot circuit board there. So does that look factory to you? Doesn't to me. So I just abandoned that and hardwired it, and then that's when I found out the pot had failed. I took the pot apart. I found that someone had shoved the contact fingers with a screwdriver and ruined it. Now that's not your average pot. It's a dual gang pot with, feels like 40 something detents in it, so it goes as you turn it to feel fancy, because it's got a large knob like that. Large knob. And not only does it have the detents, but it's also got a loudness tap in the center of the wafer. It's got a tap which goes to a loudness circuit to enable the loudness switch to work, which is basically a bass boost. So we've either got to abandon the loudness circuit or simulate it without being ideal, and probably the volume will end up at a slightly different spot. Or we've got to pay like literally $250 US for a pot, because there's like someone that's selling them, but they know that they've got the monopoly, so they're absolutely gouging everyone. $250 for a single fucking pot. Can you believe that? That's including shipping and tax. That's already up to like probably 8 billable, well, probably 6-7 billable hours after going through all of that. So yeah, vintage hi-fi stuff, probably just throw it in the bin, eh? But the amp's worth, like, they're going on the market for like $700-800, and that's like in their stock factory form. So you'd be stupid to sell one for that price. Buy one for that price, sorry, because you probably need to pour all that much money back into it. So you probably end up spending $1,500 to $2,000 just to have a old stereo that's silver and looks pretty and was kind of a consumer piece of shit when it was built. But anyway, what I might do is just say you get no loudness circuit, or you pay $250 for a new pot, and just put 100k dual gang in there and disconnect the loudness circuit. But well, it is what it is. You don't know these things until you dig in. That's the worst part. So people go, how much will it be? Well, I don't know. Oh, how much? Like roughly somewhere between $500 and $5,000. That's all I can tell you. It's literally like, I don't know. Like, is the transformer blown? Like, it's not working. It's not, you know. That's why I do estimates. But if the thing is completely non-functional and you got to do like 4 hours work for it, to even get it to a point where you figure out whether or not it's viable, well, then it's all on me. So, Brad, you get many Fender Super Champs in for service? I got one Super Champ, super cheap. No, they go in the bin, mate. Sorry, throw it out right now. Super Champs are not worth even looking at. Even their cabinets are shit. Their speakers are shit. Transformers are shit. The valves in it are probably fucked. Just bin it. Save yourself the trouble. The Super Champs issue is that they have a DSP thing in them, which once that blows, it's the XD at least. All of the preamp sounds are derived from that DSP, so it's basically just a phase inverter and an output stage that's analog. Everything else is just digital front end. So you can't bypass it. I think from memory, if it has an effects loop jack, you can just plug into the effects loop return, maybe. But yeah. Yes, I do ask for a deposit on repairs. I don't ask, I tell. I've got a bench fee here, which is 125. That covers like an hour and a bit for quick diagnosis and a rough estimate. But what do? You can't foresee a lot of these problems, so it's a bit of a gamble. Why does everything look green? Fuck's sake. Do I need to get my card out? Look, let's do my card thing. Problem is that I've got different types of lighting in here. So these lights are nice and natural. Of course, you got the color shift. Oh, look at me. I'm out of Sin City. You got pretty neutral from these, but then the lights in the background and the lights under the bench have a green hue to them because they're not meant for photography. So it makes it a bit gross in the background. I found out the only tech in my city quit. Aren't you a tech? Look at that. Let's set the white balance. Nope. Select white. That's a bit better. Ha. Thanks for the heads up on that one. You know who you are. Is Basement 50 worth the savings over a regular silver face? Basement 70 can either be made to sound more like a 6G6A. You can make anything sound like anything. A 6G6B, sorry. I'm just reading from a distance. From a distance. You can make anything sound like anything. It's just how much work do you want to put into it. Yeah. So I've removed a lot of the horrible shit. I'm going to remove more horrible shit. Had a few people comment like maybe I should have just fixed the things that had failed on this amp. And my answer to that was, well, I can't trust anything, so I don't want it coming back with stuff that I've overlooked, and the only way to get right into it is to get right into it, eh? Not to mention the fact everything was covered with slime, and there's no real easy way to get the slime out. Oh, just realised I've got no fucking framing there. Why is that so overexposed? Ah, my photography game is not strong today. There's fucking shiny chassis, that's the problem. Can I move that away? It's a bit better, isn't it? If I put it out here, tilt that up so it's pointing at my gut. Yeah, that's better. Then I can bring the iris back up. Aperture. I don't know why it calls it iris on video stuff. So, ripped everything out. Now I just want to get the thing into a position where I can work on it more easily. I'm going to lock it into 240 volts so we can do that. It had what am I trying to say? The mains was wired up with fused neutral. So I'm going to reverse that. And the wiring was shit anyway. Just tack solders and stuff in the mains area, which is not good. So anyway, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a day in the life. Well, there's good soldering from the factory there. Pity it's all coming out. I can't believe Brake called my amp shit. I looked inside, it looks okay. It's not that it's shit, it's that it's not repairable if something goes wrong, because I didn't mean to be rude there, Joy Buzzer. I'm just in a bit of a mood. Courtesy of that Kenwood. But the issue with them is that there's a DSP board, and when the DSP board fails, there's nothing you can do. It's not a part that Fender supplies anymore. So so you can't repair it. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Like, if it works now, that's fine, that's good. They do sound okay. They sound good for what they are. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that if anything goes wrong with it, chances are it's a DSP board, and then that's a death sentence for the amp. So it's up to you if you want to keep it or get rid of it while it's still working, and use that money to yeah, you said you got a really good price on it, so maybe flog it and get something else. Generally, anything with effects built in, I'd steer away from. Just use an effects loop, because having that stuff integral to the main board is always going to be an issue for reliability. Yeah, but channel 1 still goes through the DS, doesn't it? I'm thinking of the XD there, Joy Buzzer. Let me have a look. Hang on. Let's have a look at the schematic. Let's have a look at the schematic. Just because I feel bad that I abused your amp, I'll give you some screen time. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Did anyone tune in for the bushwalk the other day with our six pixels that we had? That was Sunday. It's Tuesday. Yeah, we're ahead of yous. I rode to work today too. So that wire is melted like crazy, so I'll get rid of that one too. A lot of this is just getting rid of the melted wires. I've got some white Carol cable there that will replace them and look pretty similar. About the same gauge. Fender. It's an X2. Oh, I think that's the bad one. Super Jam XT, X2. Oh, thanks for watching, champions. I'm going to try and do that every weekend now. Go for a run. I actually like the idea of riding some and then jogging some and riding some, jogging some, because riding's too easy. You need to jog for a bit in order to get the proper workout. Super Champ. Super Champ X2. Okay, so there's an X2 and an XD. I might be getting them mixed up, Joy Buzzer. Let's have a look. One of them you can bypass the DSP if it fails and just use it without effects. The other one, the whole tone shaping engine is the DSP, so you can't do anything about it once that fails except use the power amp. Dad retrofitted a slow clone board that he etched himself into one of them. He cut the main board with a bandsaw and just left the output section, cut all the preamp out. And then he put a slow clone in it, and he put a reverb in it, single tube reverb, drive and recovery. And he put a, what was it? Sorry, I'm just trying to download something. Did that work? No, didn't work. I'm going to have to download it from somewhere else. Hang on. XD, X2 service manual, X2 combo. Electro Tanya strikes again. Someone said they got a security warning from that site. I think sometimes your computer security can be a little bit overbearing. Yeah, that frozen thing, Jerry, that's because on Streamlabs on the phone, it can't close the stream. It's a really buggy piece of shit software. They haven't even got the very fundamentals of the software sorted. So you can't close the stream, so it just sits there waiting for something to reconnect. It was only when I got home that I could actually end the stream on a computer. Pretty lame, isn't it? X2 service manual. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? Okie dokie. Parts list, bomb, blah blah blah. Jesus, that's a big bomb. Alright, this is the one you can bypass. So you've got the input there. Okay, so that's the input, preamp. Got a couple of preamp stages. And then it goes to left in, right in. Okay, no, sorry, I'm wrong. So this is just basic preamp input circuitry, and then it goes to the header on a breakaway, which goes to the input stage. Sorry, it goes to the digital fuck, let me try again. Goes to the AD, the analog to digital converter. Then it goes into the computer, into the brain box. You've got volume, gain, volume. They're just 50 kb, just feeding a voltage to the microcontroller to tell it what voice to give you. That DSP is not even on the schematic, I don't believe. It's made, maybe even made by a third party, not even Fender, which is probably why they wouldn't have any stock anyway, it's Fender. But yeah, that's the one where if the DSP fails, the amp goes in the bin. You've got a line out. So there's a line out there, but that's buffered by these two stages. So it comes from the header. Where are we? Yeah, okay, so L out, R out. So this is the left and right, and it mixes them. Or that they might be differential, not sure. Left out, right out. Supposed to come out of the header there somewhere. Oh, down here. Yeah, I can't find it, but anyway, it comes from the header, which is the DSP card, digital to analog converter. So your signal here, it gets up to here, and then goes to your analog to digital converter. All the tone shaping's done in the brain box, and then it comes out of the brain box to digital to analog converter, and then it continues analog from that point forward. Then down to the input of the buffer, and then this stage here. So the PI driver, and then the PI, and that's the PI there, which is a cathodione driving two 6v6s. So there's not even an effects loop jack. You'd have to literally lift one of these components or something and feed into that stage there, and you don't have a preamp. And the other problem with this is the power transformer doesn't have enough current capability to deal with even a single other valve. You'd overheat it. So it's literally got enough filament current for 1, 2, 3 valves, and that's it. So you can't even really build a valve preamp into it, because you'll pull too much current from the power transformer. So it's kind of useless once that DSP thing fails. The only option which I was discussing with Alex yesterday, was maybe we make a preamp board that can retrofit this, but it's a lot of effort for $0, so not really worthwhile. So there you go. That's my explanation for my reaction. Have you tried going straight to YouTube for one of those streams? I have. The quality's really bad. It maxes out at like not even HD. I think it was, yeah, there was issues with it. It might have updated now though. There's probably several generations on now. I'll try it again. Trav, $20. Thanks, champ. That'll buy me half a schooner. No, just joking. Yeah, so Joey Buzzer, I just thought I'd run through that and let you know the shortcomings of that unit, because people buy them thinking they can put a valve amp into them, and I just like to make sure that everyone knows you kind of can't without another at least power transformer. Seems like a nice project. What I would do is keep an eye out for Tone Masters. I think even the Princeton has a Tone Master version now, does it not? Because as they all blow up, and it's not just the ice power board that blows up, the front end and the DSP like to blow up as well. You can build a real amp in it, bro. Go to a place that I go to in Thailand. Well, I don't go to, but I've been to Thailand once for 2 days. But go to Sol. What is it? Sol and Far. SOL. I'll just look up the link. Hang on. It's a weird name. I don't know if it's something lost in translation or whatever. But I used these chassis for some retrofits, and they were pretty amazing. Like, looked really legit. They've got a couple of other products too. I'll just give you a link. They've got like the pressed ends, like Fender used to do. You get Tube Amp Dr. Mojo Tone ones, and they're just folded. They don't look authentic. Yeah, if they keep working, then go for it. If you haven't invested much in them, Joy Buzzer, just play the thing till it stops. Don't worry about it. Just don't book a world tour with it. That's all I'm saying. We say stuff shit, but if it works, it works, and it's not shit. It's just, we're talking from a point of view of like reliability and design practice. It might be perfect. I mean, like, people are perfectly happy with katanas, but I wouldn't buy one because I'm into the art of amp building, not so much playing them. If they work, they work. Hey Brad, the Tone King Royalist I just bought is being shipped with chassis, cab and tubes separately. Really? Can I put together? I have a little experience but never pulled a chassis. Yeah, that's a bit weird that they're sending it. I guess you're buying it from a third party, not from Tone Master. Yeah, you should be able to put the valves in. Just don't force them. And if they are the ceramic octal sockets, just be cognizant of the keyway, and because sometimes the ceramic sockets are built with enough tolerance that you can accidentally put the valve in the wrong way and it still goes in. Rev. How's a Rev treating you? I think I've only had like one of them in. They mustn't be too bad. I know there's a few out here and they don't seem to go bang. Had a deluxe Tone Master, sold it. The thing I was going to say with Tone Masters is, yeah, just wait till they go bang. Buy them broken and put good amps in the cabinets, because the cabinets are really nice and the baffles are actual plywood. Went to the International School of Bangkok, 11th and 12th grade. Nice. We went to Bangkok on the way to, well, Europe, so Munich, for Oktoberfest in like 2015. We're only there as a stopover because the flights were heaps cheaper. We didn't get to see much. We had very limited time and the traffic there is insane. So, all we had time to do is have a look at this like silk museum and architectural place. This guy from the US that basically set up the silk trade over there in the 40s, I want to say, 50s. You watched Emmanuel in Bangkok in 9th grade. What? A lot. I need to see what that is now. What, can you tell me what Emmanuel in Bangkok is? One night in Bangkok. I don't know what you is it talking about. They said they can insure the amp unless it's taken apart. Isn't it already taken apart? Isn't that what you're telling me? If the amp is eating through 6V6s, I figured there's something wrong. They bias them at the factory at 60 millivolts. 60 millivolts isn't a bias measurement, I hate to tell you. You could have 60 millivolts at 200 volts on the plate, or you could have 60 millivolts at 500 volts on the plate. Very different. How you going, Lyle? Just felt a bit lonely today, so I thought I'd stream. Classics softcore 70s movie. Okay. Right. I don't know the Emmanuel films. No, I don't. I guess that's something that wasn't didn't make it to Australia. I'm assuming that was some kind of inspiration for the gamut of sex tourism that happened after after that. It's a good way to get demonetized, isn't it? Is that Emmanuel? So it was like a documentary, faux documentary with you know, a bit of leg showing or something, was it? Sort of like 80s clickbait, 70s clickbait, before we had mice. Oh fuck, that would have shorted out too. Everywhere I look in this thing, there's like potential problems. Ugh. I used to rent them on VHS. Ah, okay. VHS days. I think what I'm going to have to do is snip off the end of all of these, because they're all a bit messy and a bit excess length anyway. I think we can afford to lose a 1/4 inch off them all and see if we can save the wires that aren't melted. Just save a bit of labour, you know. It's already going to be through the friggin' roof. I've got some heat. I've got some melts on the heater's wires, but they're not through, and they're not in a position that they're going to touch. So I think I'll leave them, because redoing the heater wires will take another like 45 minutes to an hour. I know. People out there, I could do it quicker than that. Okay, well, time yourself then. And tell me the truth. Brad's getting confused with the $5 make you holler. What? Always miss the live streams. Glad it happened upon. Yeah, so I thought I'd do a midweek one. I was planning on just doing the Saturdays only, or Sundays, Fridays over there. I thought, I'll give you a bonus one. Why not? That wire is really thick. Is it looking a bit shit? Some of them were in French. Oh. Probably change it to Teflon coated as a love job. This thing's already enough of a love job, Alex. This thing's fucking way a love job. I need to move the lights off to the side or something. 14 hours for mine. This will be roughly that, I reckon. Yeah, probably. So everyone's on my case going, you got to charge more. I know, but you win some, you lose some. That's the thing. So there'll be some jobs where I'll overestimate a bit, and there'll be some jobs where I underestimate a bit, and it all works out in the wash. If you fucking try and map everything to the second, you're going to end up with a lot of pissed off customers. Brad to co-host, Michael Swell, Mark Bartel. You're always needed, Lyle. You need to translate for me. Sometimes Seppos can't understand what I'm saying. What does get a dog up you mean? I'm going to remove that mains cord for now because it's annoying me. We're going to hardwire it to 240 volts. I got my handy dandy little Hakko pliers there. I thought for years, I don't need them. I can just use something else. But no, now I've bought them. I'm like, how the fuck did I think that I could get along without them? Ooh. 67 AB165. Now you get all the good jobs, Lyle. Damn you. I'm going to remove the switch for a minute. Scott Wilcox. I know Scott Wilcox. You guys have Sid Chrome over there? I'm assuming it's a US brand, is it? US? I don't know. I don't even know where Sid Chrome's made, actually. That's a good point. So, I'm wondering if you guys might be interested in some motorcycle restoration videos. Just as a pivot, because that's where I am a little bit amateur. I kind of feel guilty working on my own shit now, like after being a tech for this many years and seeing people work on and destroy their own shit and then bring it to me. I'm starting to think, like, do I even get back into mechanics? Because I've done like top end jobs and valve grinds and cylinder hones and you know, I used to do valve clearances and stuff with the VFR. But I'm out of practice, boys. I've got to get back into it. Brad, if I bought an amp from Oz, can I run it in the UK without changing anything other than the plug, obviously? Yeah. So we're technically 230 volt. Like, officially we're 230 volt, but we're not. We're 240. We're actually 240, but officially we're 230. Now that UK, I believe, is 220. However, I don't know their actual line voltage over there. What I would suggest doing with valves, like, what's a couple of tens of volts between people? Just check the bias. If there's any low voltage stuff in it, it's likely regulated anyway, so it won't care. But check your bias point, because that's all unregulated. Then you might be running... Well, if anything, you'd be running cooler. So, yeah. So I've got to work on my Aprilia SL1000 Falco. I've got to get Michelle's GS500 pairing again, and get them both registered and blue slipped and whatever. That's roadworthy. Probably need new tyres on the Aprilia. New sprockets, perhaps. Possibly, now it's been sitting for ages, probably a new fuel pump and maybe new injectors. We'll see how we go there. Probably need some new fuel lines. Vacuum lines for the tank. It's got a K&N filter, so I think that's fine, but we'll need to do an oil change. probably want to check the valve clearances and stuff as well, which is fun because it's a 60-degree V-twin. But I kind of want to, just like working on amps, kind of want to take the whole thing apart and just check everything because it's been sitting dormant for so long. There's probably wasp nests and all sorts of fucking shit in it. Yeah, different interpretations. That's a good way of putting it. Heard of interpretive dance, but I don't know about interpretive electronics. Yeah, I think if anything, the 230 to 250 in the UK. Oh, no chance anywhere in UK. I think I need to read back a bit. What are we? Just a bit of a show of hands. What are we generally experiencing in the UK in terms of wall voltage? Chuck your voltages up. You guys are techs and shit, aren't you? Come on, get your meter out. Shove it in the wall. If you left gas in those, they've been sitting along the air, ripping them apart. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm sure at least a couple of hoses will be cracked and valve clearance checked for sure. Yeah, I think that's bucket valves with lifters. I can't remember. I've got the service manual somewhere. I'll start reading it, and that'll inspire me to get back into it. Shells probably needs the carbs flushed now because it's carby. Yeah, again, check all the fuel lines. She's got some rusted bolts and shit, so I might look at getting bolt kits for it just to make it look fresh. I've got a new sticky kit for it. It's been covered. The Aprilia has faded paint. I was thinking about respraying all the fairings, like a gunmetal grey. We'll lose the logos then, but whatever. But yeah, that thing's a beast. I love riding that thing. I'm picking up a VTR 1000F soon. It's going to be my everyday ride until I get the Aprilia back on the road, or even still, I might sell the Aprilia. Probably only get like 2 or 3 grand for it now though, maybe 3 or 4 maybe. It's a bit expensive having multiple bikes registered just sitting there. If you do the bolt kit, safety wire the new ones while you're at it, why not? Transformers are built around 235 primary due to CE compliance. How you going, Scott? I hear you gave Lyle a bit of a visit. You're unbelievable. Yes, I don't know if you've watched the Princeton video yesterday, but yeah, a lot of slime came out of this thing, eh? I couldn't believe that right after I scheduled the video last night, sat down, Shell was watching TV, and I actually named it named it ectoplasm or whatever, and then Ghostbusters 1 comes on. I'm like, what? It's crazy. I love Bill Murray. Oh, got a phone call. 1 minute. Well, Kenwood owner. Wants to do the whole lot. Wants the original part, no matter what it costs. So, okay. What is going on, Panny Boy? Focus. Gah. I think I've got to reconfigure my face detect since I grew the beard. Clyde, $5, thanks, mate. You've watched 1 million of my videos. You've seen me on live stream before, haven't you, Clyde? I thought I'd seen you in live stream. And thanks for the $5. That'll get me my coffee. It's almost coffee time. I've already had 3 shots this morning. So, for the Kenwood, because we dropped a PNP power transistor, I had to pull out the old substitution books and find one that would work. So these are very handy to have if you don't have any. There you go. Focus. Focus. There we go. Look at that. Penny Boy's on point today. So yeah, they're really good for working on old shit, because you can find, not only can you find direct comparisons, which may also be obsolete now because we're talking old Japanese stuff, but you can find the parameters of the transistor that you're after, and you can find one that's as good as or better. So say you've got one that's rated at 50 volts, you've got another one on hand that's rated at 100 volts, and all the other specs are roughly the same. Go for it, mate. Chuck it in, especially for a power supply, because most of the specs are irrelevant. You have to pay special attention to the pinout in particular. So yeah, they're really good for fixing old shit, because you can use modern parts. And you don't have to stock 1 million transistors. You can stock a few. It's like diodes. Why stock 1N4001s? They're exactly the same size and same current rating as 1N4004s or 7s. Just stock the 4007s. Where can you get that fuck off sign? I will tell you that as soon as it comes to me. Yes, I remember the company now. Let me get you a link. It turned up so well packed. Cool neon. I'll give you the link. I should oh, there's a fuck off shop. Wicked. This is a shop that just sells fuck off stuff. Okay, it's not giving me results to that. Let's have a look at. Oh god, have they moved to Amazon? I don't want to I don't want to give you a link if they're on Amazon, because I don't want you buying stuff off Amazon, because they're a bunch of fucking pricks. Kings of Neon, maybe? Looks like maybe they've moved to Amazon, which sucks. Okay, there's a lot of companies that do the custom neon signs, but they're just CNC cut acrylic with the LED, flexible LED strip in it, and that looks fake and shit. But they're actual neon with a 30 kilovolt, I think it is, supply. How many kilovolts? No, it wouldn't be 30. It must be 30 milliamp. That's what I remember. And 30 kilovolts would fucking jump half a foot. 3 kilovolts at 30 milliamps is the power supply. Switch mode little thing. Plays hell for audio. I stay well away from that when I'm playing guitar. Let's put the phone on. We can leave it on. Fuck it. Yeah, it's real neon. It looks just so much cooler. It's just got this deep glow to it. The LEDs just don't quite hit. Books are good for propping up chassis at 1C level because of the transformers. That's what I got these wooden blocks for. Bits of spotted gum. Aussie spotted gum. Very, very hard timber. Just going back in the chat. Probably shouldn't read chat because I'm busy. Anyone want to buy a Super Champ X2 cheap? Just play it till it dies, Joy Buzzer. It's fine. Screwed up a lot of people with those. Yeah. Alright, so he's backed me up. Pretty sure old WD-40 going gummy. Yeah, I reckon they just flooded it with WD. Come on, Joy Buzzer. Just play the bloody thing, mate. It's fine. I think would have been around Christmas time last year. I did a live stream. Was it a live stream or no? It was an edited video. Might have been the year before, actually. Fuck, time's going quick. I'm gonna be dead before I know it. We did a live stream interview with Dad, and he went over all his projects and stuff that he had on the bench at the time, and one of them was Super Champ XD, which he ripped the guts out of and built the slow in, so you can actually see it on film back then. So look back about 2 years. You may have to invest in an old-fashioned impact driver if you're cracking the crankcase. Impact guns. Yeah, I've got one of them, Jerry. I know all about them. I've learned about them the hard way. I've already lost those hairs, mate. So now that's some wisdom that I possess. I've also done the clutch on the Aprilia once before, and luckily Googled it. Because the service manual didn't say anything about having to use heat to let go of the factory Loctite that they use on the friction fit taper fitting for the flywheel. So yeah, I just heat gunned it, and she came straight apart. It was great. Didn't need a blowtorch. don't need a blowtorch for that. You'll fuck your bearing shields. So, yeah, did the clutch, replaced the brake, no, the clutch slave cylinder with an Oberon brand, CNC billet thing, because the stock ones lose their coating and go pitted and leak clutch fluid everywhere, which is the same as brake fluid, but because it's a fluid-driven clutch, not cable. So I've done some work to the Aprilia, but just let it sit for ages. When I started the business full time, it was my main priority, and everything else came second, and it still does. So I'm trying to reclaim my life a little bit because I've kind of lost quite a bit, and time's disappearing. I'm trying to remember what having a life is like. I'm trying to get the business to a point where, okay, I've invested a lot of money in the business, so maybe we'll go through a period now where we want to just see some returns from it instead of keeping to growth. So we might slow down on the growth a bit and just knuckle down, get some work done, instead of buying new shit and expanding. Like, it's kind of not the time for that at the moment. Neither Brad nor myself likes telling people when an F is a problem. Yeah, I don't enjoy it. It sucks because no matter what you say, it's not a good feeling. If you pretend like it's good and it's not, well, you're misleading people and they'll get upset later. If you tell them now that it's not good, then they get upset now. So no matter what, they get upset. But they never seem to get upset with the manufacturer, which is what I can't figure out. Oh, fuck. So, had a bloke come in yesterday with a Fender Rumble 200 bass amp. It blew up after he bought it 6 months from when he bought it new. So they gave him, it was difficult, apparently they resisted, which is fucked, but the retail outlet eventually gave in and gave him a fresh one. 6 months and they were trying to fight it. It's blown up, like. So 6 months, he's had this one for a year. So I think he said 18 months since he bought the first new one, and now the second one's blown up. And it's a ice power output module. So I'm just tracking down a price for one of them. Looks like it'll be around the $200 mark, because they're about 95 Australian. Sorry, American. But then shipping on top of that. So he's not happy. So I said, well, you know, I can sell you something else. I've got the Mark Base Black Line series coming soon. And they're not going to last you 50 years either. Nothing Class D will. The only things that last ages is the pretty low performance heavy amps, essentially. Everything else is just not really built to last 20 years anymore. It's just as simple as that. Sucks. I'd like to offer a product that will last 20, 30 years of abuse, but it's just they kind of don't exist anymore. You're a beast, Guru Amtech. Here in the UK, 230, 240. Okay, cool. So it's about the same as here. I used those in the past. Don't know if kids know what an old-fashioned impact driver is. Yeah, well, you need the shock, not the torque, because it's a chemical bond between the two metals. Unlike metals, you got steel and alloy. You got to break that bond. There are tons of things on the market that say bell lighters, affordable 40-watt heads without computer boards. I need to replace the 2-conductor power cord with a grounded one and an old Morley wire pedal. Are there any supplies that have better replacement cords than others? You're in the States, so I'll let Lyle field that one. Brad, what were your picks for the best amps under 500 and 1K? Ooh, under 500. That's I don't know. Is there anything? Under 500, I think it's just whatever suits your feature set, because you're not going to get an heirloom amp for that money unless it's second hand. Under 1,000, probably the DSL-40. Stay away from the 20. Just trying to remember. I should take notes of that kind of stuff, really. Oh, so we're talking new amps. Probably orange. So did you say heads? No, just amps. Orange and Vox, I guess, unless you want a super genty boy. Or super clean. I mean, yeah, they can do clean as well, but probably the Vox AC15 second hand you can get for under $1,000. Under 500, yeah, it probably just depends on what features you're after. Sweet sound of Brad blowing stuff. I did blow a transistor yesterday. I'm glad I didn't do that on stream. I put a tip 41C instead of a 42C in a 42 position. And yeah, bang. Had the current limiter on it, but still let the smoke out. Just picked up the wrong one. I was just spaced for a second. Oh, hang on, yeah, so Morley wah pedal, so you're going to look at putting a grounded cord on the Morley wah pedal. That leads to ground life is... Yeah, sorry, so, Morley pedals, rip out the transformer and just feed it an AC from a plug pack, and use a bridge rectifier. I've got little boards. I haven't ordered any yet, but I've designed them, waiting for the next project. Just universal regulated boards. Feed it AC with bridge rectifier, and then regulate it to plus minus whatever it wants. I think some of them had a high voltage supply for something too, though, so that could complicate things. I'm going off memory here. I rebuild a lot of Morleys, hence my email about power conductors. Oh yes, sorry, Scotty, you were talking about that. Yeah. All right, so he needs to get rid of the transformer, but then Travis was talking about it. Okay. So yeah, how'd you go with that, Scotty? Did you end up just powering it with AC? Because from memory, we didn't need that high voltage, did we? Hey Diego, how you going, champ? Anyway, that cleaned up really well once we got the slime off the back. So this is a completely slimeless amp now. Isn't that fantastic? There's the old cap, it goes in the bin. So now I think what we've got to do is get the new cap on there, and start repopulating that board. I think I'll give the top of the chassis a bit of a clean while we've got it apart. I want to get this one done today, so need to get moving. Got a lot of shit to catch up on. Yeah, well, some of the grease has made its way to the other side of the chassis, but not a lot of corrosion, so that's good. Man, Shell's working in the city today, so I can't pester her to bring me another coffee. I have to get it myself. Get a bit of alcohol there just to free it up a bit. One for you, one for me. It is really fucking hot here today. We are about 15 degrees above average. Normally it's about 22. We're expecting 36 today. Until tomorrow, 36 again. I think Thursday it's supposed to cool down. Probably with a shit ton of wind, which means bushfires already. Is that a new Foo Fighters song? I don't know, Foo Fighters are just a bit boring now, aren't they? Have been for a while. New Baroness album just released though. I'll be purchasing that one. I've got all of them on vinyl, so that'll be another record to purchase. Little present to myself for putting up with myself. Coffee field trip. That's what I was thinking, Trav. I've got the push bike here today, but I don't think I'll be able to ride and film with one hand and hold a coffee with the other. Be careful not to erase that rubber stamp. Just try and get the grease residue off. It's even on the outside as well. Not as much, but still there. Yeah, so for that bike video, I was just hoping to get you inspired to get out and get amongst it before winter kicks in and you all stay inside and hibernate. Yeah, I haven't heard the new one yet. Man, that Gina, she's a fucking machine player, eh? She's a legend, and she's real cool too. Doesn't take any shit. Love it. Proper rocker. And Baroness play with single coils. Usually Telecasters and Jazzmasters. Pretty cool. It feels like Golden Grey only just came out and they've already released Stone. And the singer and guitarist from that band does all the artwork for Kyoritsu too. Let's get a dry rag and just buff off any remaining residue from the alcohol. Can I help? No, I can't help anyone right now. I'm busy. Let me scroll back. Redesign ground schemes for a 2204 based on Live's videos because I sent him a new layout. I'll pay you to check for theoretical accuracy. So, PF, are you aware of the concepts of grounding? Like the ideal grounding concept? Like what you're aiming for? I don't mean to be a cop-out, but if you go back to the theory of it and you understand what you're aiming for, then a lot of the blocks will fall in place, and they'll fall in place permanently. And now you'll know how grounding works. So just answer me that, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I'm going to take my chances with the JJ on this. Make sure everyone click over the live chat as well. Ah, that's right. You can't. You got to drill out the hole, don't you? JJ, what are you doing? That's fucking stupid. Righto. 40, 20, 20, 20. So yeah, I forgot about this. So you've got to drill a hole out. I might get permission from the owner to do this before I go enlarging that hole. Oh. Because I've got my step drill, but it's going to be violent. That's a fucking expensive drill, that one. I think it was around $350, $280 or something. But it goes up to 36 mil. Fucking beast. 36 mil, will that even be enough? Yeah, heaps. $34, 34 to 36, and the 34. The 33 is more like 34. Oh, sorry, I'm off by one. Yeah, 33. Yeah. So 33 would be adequate. I do love step drills, but they can be real violent. A little bit traumatic to use. No, quality step drills are not cheap, and cheap step drills are not quality. Generally, the titanium nitride coated ones is just marketing. They're pretty shit. But if you're dealing with plastic or aluminium, they'll probably be adequate. But for steel, you probably want... I don't know what brands you got over there. Sutton is my preferred brand here, which is, I believe, is Australian manufactured. One of the few things we still make over here. Supposedly, I don't know. They probably don't, and they just say they do. Call me cynical. So I might make a quick call. Well, you know the customer now because you saw him on the Premiere when I forgot what his name was because I'm an idiot. $1,000 job. Yeah, about that, Dave. So I might just give him a quick call. Just see if it's cool to enlarge the chassis. Which means I've got to log into my bloody accounting software to find his contact details. Yay. Maybe I can get it in here. Yeah, so can you guys hear the music at all? Looks like it's really low, like minus 55. Cheap step drills are more violent. Yeah, true. Those big bits are crazy dangerous if the chassis isn't clamped into a press. I don't know, man. Like, how much torque do you think my drill's got? Yeah, Zach, see, we remember. Alright, I'm going to mute you. As much as I love you, I'm not going to let you listen to this conversation. No answer. They'll chatter on you. Yeah, they'll do that. No music. Okay, that's good. That's showing the isolation of the headset mic compared to the previous mics I've used. So I'll put that aside for now. I won't drill out until I got his permission. Otherwise, we're going to have to mount tag strips, which we could do. We could mount them there and there. We've got 2 holes there that would be convenient for mounting a tag strip, similar to like what I did on the Vibro Champ recently. Alright, so I understand the difference between shielding, okay, AC grounding where theory gets rough is with the phase inverter and screens. I perceive a center chassis location, but not sure of the specific location. Right, so I'm going to copy you a quick article, which you can have you can peruse, and then get back to us, see if you understand it. Alright, so this is a link to a... Oh, fuck. So this is a link to a page that has a PDF to download and read. They've even been so nice as to give you a link to Adobe Acrobat. so you can read it. Alright, try that one out, PF, and then see how you go. Yeah, you might hear a touch of it in the background, human fly, but just as long as it's not like recognizable. Yeah. It's only when I go quiet. I discovered this early on when I started streaming. I had the radio so quiet in the background, but in periods where I wasn't speaking, 2 things happened. The compression picked up the background stuff, and the algorithm doesn't care if it hears background music and there's enough talking over it. It doesn't register it, but once you stop talking, it flags it. Alright, so we got permission off Zach, we all know him now, to do the 1164, AA1164 circuit. So no boost. So I'm going to repopulate the board to those specs, sorry. And we might make some improvements along the way and go from there. So I might move this out of the way. Go away. Put that there. I'll check the old components and reuse what we can. I'll check the caps for leakage with my thing. insulation tester. We'll clean the wax off them. G'day Paul, how you going, champ? Tone Electronics from Portugal, nice. Music leaks through a bit, not enough to ID the song. Perfect. Sounds like pop with a female singer. Yes, it was. Forget the artist. I think it is, what's the band name? Is that Blur? The new Blur? Georgia Mooney, Full of Moon was the song. I got Double J on in the background. So yeah, I was of two minds of what to save, what not to save. I think if we can, we'll save the pots. It's getting to the point where it's like, it'd be just as cheap to replace them all. Well, not just as cheap, because they're like $10 each. But you know, it all adds up, and you keep going, and before you know it, Bill's out of control. Bloody Bill, he's out of control. So we'll clean the pots as best we can, and reuse them if we can. They're really gross. Yeah, it's off. I think that's the new Blur song. The playlist hasn't updated yet though. Have you noticed that? Like a lot of digital stations, their track listings like either really slow or doesn't work at all. But yeah, if that's Blur, I'm not hating it. I was never a Blur fan originally, but I'm liking that. So tomorrow morning, bright and early over here, about 2 or 3 in the arvo over there, you'll have first episode of the Rivera 5512, and then 2 days after that, you'll have the final episode, because I've taken everyone's advice and tried to produce all the videos before releasing the first one. So thanks for that, you ungrateful fucks. No, I agree. It's frustrating to see a hint of an amp and then be a holdout for a week or two. Do what I can, legends. You might have noticed that in all the intro videos I was wearing the same shirt, and that's because I recorded them all that same morning. Makes more sense to do that. You got to get the video shit set up. How did I do that? You'll just have to wait till hang on. No, tomorrow's the Princeton. Wait. Yeah, you have to wait till the next episode. Oh, phone call. Oh, legends. Yeah, probably don't count the hours, Yeatsy. Don't do that. Sometimes we have a dub, sometimes we have an L. That's me in millennial speak. What matters is our reputation and the happiness of our customers. So sometimes we have four wins a day and we make a good profit. Other days we make a loss. But if you stress about every upswing and if you stress about every bad day and you get overwhelmingly happy with every good day, you're going to wear out pretty quick. So you've got to reach a nice middle ground of apathy in order to survive this industry. But I've been enjoying your videos, Yeatsy. I have been watching them. Usually I'll get home, I'll edit one of my videos, and while it's compiling, processing, I'll be sitting there having a whiskey or a beer, watching yours or Lyle's. I just charge a lot, yeah. Well, you know what, Lyle? If I keep doing work like this and people start knowing about it, I'll be able to do the same thing. That's what it comes down to. Because there's not many people stupid enough to do this. So, people will come from far and wide to do this. Instead of a tech that just does the bare minimum. Because really, like, there's not a lot of this that I could have gotten away with, eh? Like, you tell me what in the video I could have left in, how it was. Why do rappers do that thing? What the fuck's up with that? Yeah, don't stress over the views, Yeatsy. I wouldn't worry about them, eh? I know it's a lot of work, but I've got to try and think of it not as work, I guess. I've seen your comments about the slight lack of views. It'll come good, man. Like I say, I think you just pivoted from guitar stuff, and you're an amazing guitarist. You run fucking rings around me and Lyle. And, yeah, you've certainly got one over us there. G'day, Coldak. How you going, champ? You bludgeon at work? Why do rappers do anything? I like rap. I like stuff like, oh, fuck. I'm on the spot now. I've forgotten his name. Lupe Fiasco, I like. I like Lupe. The mumble rap thing was kind of inexplicable, however. How did that get successful? So this is native Australian Aboriginal rap artists. But they do the, I think in their respect they do the thing because it was sort of like a cultural dance thing in their singing. But you hear all the blokes in the US and they just go at the end of every line. And it's like, what is that? Is that supposed to be an old school phone or something? Yeah, I was going to say the heaters. Sorry, I'm reading while I'm depopping. Like, that was a solder joint. I didn't touch that. Wow. I didn't touch that solder joint. This is the bias supply. So, look. I'll show you the layout. So, here's the layout. Right. This is a demonstration of how I couldn't have really done any less in this amp than I did. Where's my pointer? Fuck. I should get organised. See that? There's the diode. There's a resistor. Nothing in between. That shows a link, but there's nothing there. Diode resistor. Look at the solder joint. Come on, legend, you can focus. I know you're Panasonic, but there we go. It's dry as a dead dingo's donger, mate. Had to throw an Australianism in there. That's drier than a dead dingo's donger. Like Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yeah, hell yeah. We don't want any carbon comps in the bias supply. They can fuck off, because they will reduce the voltage supply as they age and approach 0 volts. They'll become like a divider. Roland Lumbie is the man. I love Roland. Love to have a pint with him. Although I think he's I don't think he's much of a drinker. I think he's more of a cup of tea kind of bloke. He works on everyone's amps. Bloody all the rock royalty over there. Any electricity that was passing through that joint was purely by accident. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Trav. And that's the bias board, bro. No es bueno. So let's give that a soak with alcohol as well. I know, Alex, you were telling me about the wax and grease remover. There's no real wax on the surface of that anymore. In the fibre, sure, but that's not the end of the world. We just want the wax taken off the outer layer. I used to love playing drums to Busta Rhymes tracks. Do you play drums, Lyle? You're just a bloody big sack of surprises, aren't you? I got a drum kit. It's packed away at the moment because we've only got a guest room and a sort of officey room, so I had the drum kit set up in the guest room, but had to change it to a guest room proper. You used to? Wow. Did you own a kit? I've got a Yamaha Studio Session kit or something it's called. I think it's Taiwanese. Had to sell them in a divorce. Damn! Must have been a good one then. Would have just let you keep a shit one. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to order some Star Classic hardware. Look at all the schmoo that comes off. Sorry, just doing 3 things at once again. One of my mates from the Super Jesus, who's a drummer, just joined him, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. He's got a kit that is made out of like opal acrylic. So it's got a lighting controller, and the whole drum kit can light up. It's fucking cool, hasn't it? Sounds really good. I really didn't expect much out of acrylic drum shells, but just evaporate the crap out of that, the alcohol out of that, and see if there's any wax left. Yeah, a little bit. We're good. Alrighty then. 100k. And a 1N4 whatever. Alright, let's get our parts together, eh? Try and do this logically. 22k. We're gonna make it adjustable bias. Nah, fuck that. I'll just make it fixed, non-adjustable bias. Dan says man alive. Who are we talking about? Dan from TPS says man alive. Where the hell does that even mean? I don't know. How you going, Nigel? Welcome to Gadigal Land. It's a new Midnight Oil song. 100k. $22k. Oh, stomach's making noise. Gotta eat something soon. Let's get some capacitors out. How many of these do we need? 22 microfarad. I'm gonna go with V-shays or tube amp doctors. They're both 105. Let's go with the TADs. 1, 2. How many do I need? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them. One thing I'm going to do with this amp is when it's up and running, I'm going to show you the difference between having no grid stopper to the PI and having a grid stopper to the PI when you really push it. That'll be a cool little comparison. I really appreciate you guys for helping us who don't know our ass from our elbows. Elbows usually smell better. Usually. Sometimes not. Especially if you're working on a differential. What does it go with differential oil? Why does it smell so bad? It's really gross. I'll just clean those eyelets up a bit. They've got some crusty old solder on there. I think it might be time for the air conditioning, champions. Oh, I've got the BOFA. I keep forgetting about the BOFA. The other reason I got the headset mic was to try and keep the BOFA noise under control. How's that sound? So this is activated flux. It's ow, burnt myself on the old eyelet. This is Loctite Multicore C511. Its flux is really good at removing corrosion. ASMR, there you go. Soothing. Yeah, it's like pink noise. People listen to go to sleep. The old tip's giving me dramas again. It goes really good, and I don't have to do anything to it for ages, and then Lyle watches and all my tips get blocked. The preservatives is what stinks. Yeah, it's like sulfur or something, eh? Yeah, man alive. That's just like, holy smokes, that kind of thing. It's the Seppo thing. No one over here says that. We just go, fucking hell. Fuck me, sideways. That's what we say. Is there any other Aussie slang you wanna learn about? I'm engaging in time travel here. In what manner? Am I missing something? I often miss things. Tranny fluid. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Transmission fluid smells like ass too. It does, doesn't it? We just replaced the differential on my brother's Hilux. Snapped it. We say clusterfuck. Yeah, we say that too. And foobar. That all comes from, was it Apocalypse Now? Fuck me dead. That's another one. Yeah. You don't realise that it's... Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying. You don't realise that sayings are like country or culture specific when you're in it. Fuck me drunk. Yeah. Or fuck me running. Wonder all that came from. Well, should I go get a coffee, boys? What do you think? I'll make a cup of tea for now. And have a cookie. Too early for whiskey. I'm just gonna mute my chewing, unless you guys like chewing. Fuck me in the arse and call me Shirley. Alright, one of them. One of them. And diode. I remember draw 46? No. 44. 44A. And I'll get some backup diodes for the rectifier. Same ones. Probably don't really need them in this amp, to be honest, because doesn't have a standby switch. Alright. The one thing you got to remind yourself of when you're doing a bias board is that the old positive of the cap goes to ground, doesn't it? It's a trap for young players. We've got the 22 to ground. We'll see where that sits in the scheme of things with the bias point. Might need to change that one out, yep. One N 400 whatever. I've got 4007s because it's just easy to stock the one. $100K resistor on the AC input. There's a little bias board. Probably should have zoomed in for that, sorry. There's our little bias board. That's what I do when I'm editing, when I'm doing videos. I'll say something and I realise the camera's fucked and I'll have to say it again. So Michelle thinks I'm losing my mind because I'm repeating myself all day. But it is what it is. Need the BOFA again. Might just take the BOFA down a bit. It's speed adjustable. Fucked up beyond all recognition, yeah. Oh, still hear some popping and sizzling. Still a bit of alcohol in that board. I should have got a bit of blue tack so I'm not chasing the board around on the table, eh? Catching up with Jason in a few moments. Nice. You going for a beer or what are you doing? Buying some shit off him? I'm going to Melbourne in November to see Sunkel Lotto. Don't ask. No, we're just going for a bender, 2-day bender, me and my mates in Melbourne. We'll see if we can get arrested. Shouldn't be too hard with those boys. Put the bias board aside. Clean its little backer. Yeah, this little backing thing's got a bunch of wax on it, so we'll clean that off. You won't know what amp sounds like with the C12K, but it sounds like you do not like. Okay. Yeah, I had a customer that insisted on the C12K in his deluxe reverb that I built from scratch for him. And it sounded okay, just didn't break up terribly gracefully. For clean stuff it was okay, but yeah, I know what you're saying, it's not my preferred speaker either. Get another wanky. So that does most of the cleaning right there. Ugh, using a heat gun on a hot day is not real fun. Oh, what about now? We're at 27 degrees in here. I think it's time for the air conditioning, or at least a fan. We get the sun beaming in the front door up until about 10 or 11 o'clock. So it heats the place up a little bit. And the lighting adds a bit of warmth in this corner as well. Phone call. Customer after a copy of an invoice, boys. So I'm just sitting at the front computer. I'm just going to fire that invoice off and then I'll be right back with yous. You can probably hear music now, fuck it. There we go, I just muted the music. Email. Job done. Back to it. Oh, just unmute the music so the shop doesn't feel like an alien atmosphere. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 amps that just came in. I'm going to have to assess on Saturday. It's going to be fun. Oh yeah, missed the in between, Clyde. I've been trying to watch that. I've seen YouTube has taken upon it itself to show me some clips of it, and fuck, it looks like a fantastic show, eh? I know so many people like that main dude, eh? That's just typical Aussie dude. How many caps? Sorry, resistors are we gonna try and reuse? You reckon the old carbon comps? Reaper doesn't have enough low end for an open back 1x12. It's not Australia till it's 40C, or it's not quite 40. You wait till 27 to put the AC on. Yes. Generally I wait till 30, but the problem is there's no air movement. I can deal with 35, 40 degrees as long as there's a bit of air movement. I don't give a shit. If it's still like it is in here, just dead still air, it gets pretty stuffy. These are Tube Amp Doctor 105 degree caps. 25 microfarad, 25 volt. That's correct. The hottest I've ever been in Australia is 47C. Yeah, I was swimming down the Sapphire Coast, South New South Wales, with some dolphins. As soon as I got out of water, I was almost instantly dry. Yeah, that's what it was like in Christmas 2020. And then we had 3 years of La Nina, which it was nice and cool and rainy. But yeah, we're going back to El Nino. Yeah, La Nina, El Nino. They haven't declared it yet, but it's almost there. See you, Trav. Have a good one, man. Catch you on the next one, or enjoy watching back if you have a chance. Yeah, you've been told not to mess with what show? New resistors, you've gone this far. Probably, Dave. Let's just test them. Let's have a look. You know that if I reuse one, even I'm trying to keep stuff respectful to the original design, but I guarantee if I use one, it'll present some weird intermittent issue later on. $1.6K. 1.6K. What do you think, lads? Doesn't make much of a difference if it's carbon comp or not in this position. Do we just replace them all? I don't want to just replace everything though. The main reason I depopulated the board was to clean the shit off and just make sure that all the solder joints were good. So that's 6% out. They're 10% resistors. So that's with intolerance. If they don't bubble, they're fine. Yeah, they haven't bubbled. That's the just the cathode resistors.
So I'll get them together. The ones I'm going to reuse. The plate loads I will change. Let's just test them. Well, we've got them. 100 and... Okay, that's varying, but probably because it's not a great connection because there's dirt on the leads. 105, 104.5. That's a radio station. It's a real shit one too. 107.5. $109. Ooh, she's borderline. Do you have a cap resistor tester with speaker for noise? No, I don't. I use the amp for that, Greg. It's not that hard to change out a resistor. Not the end of the world. 111. That's over tolerance. I reckon we change the plate loads. But do we go with carbon comp? I reckon we go with carbon film. Sorry. Metal film. 108. Until we get to the phase inverter. What do you think? 56k. I've got a bunch of carbon comps, but I think they're only quarter watts. Tad caps and Marble Audio, Magewell Audio, Chinese, quality so far unknown. I've not had one failure of the Taddies so far. Terry, I've got news for you. Pretty much everything's made in China. Like, you know, where are the V-Shays got made in? They used to have country of origin written on the bags, but I think they've erased that now. Yeah, they don't say. Not from Mouser. I think DigiKey tell you the country of origin on the Ziploc bag. $53. It should be $47. 1.1 meg. $1.5. Oh, that is 1.5. Dumbass. 54. It's actually a bit low. $55.5. One meg. So nothing's way out of whack. Always metal film. Yeah, for low noise. Some people think they sound a bit sterile. And carbon comps. Carbon comps are good for surge withstanding. Pulse withstanding, they call it. That could otherwise make a metal film drift pretty heavily. 110, that's out of tolerance. But there's also non-linearities involved with carbon comps. Alright, that was 110, that's out of tolerance. That was out of tolerance. 1.6. That we're not using because it's part of the boost circuit. You buy from American suppliers? Yeah, of course I do. Are there no Australian component suppliers? Yeah, there are, but they just buy from those guys and add a margin, so. Why not get it through? Why buy the milk when you can buy the cow and get the milk for free or something? I use a lot of metal film, partially for low noise because Work on a lot of high gain amps, a lot more high gain amps than Lyle does. I don't have many carbon films. I should probably get a set. Can't have every fucking resistor, mate. So I might be able to reuse that one in another position if the other one's drifted, because that was just part, that's only experienced audio, not high voltage, so it's probably not drifted too far. Oh, that's drifted far. Should be 470, it's 490. That's 513. Bit under a meg. So their carbon film, that was part of the bias circuit that they previously had. So carbon comp for original vintage character, but metal. Sorry, but modern alternatives in certain places of an amp. Yeah, so there's no point having a carbon comp where it's going to present noise issues like grid stoppers or anything, where there's not a lot of voltage swing, but there's a lot of gain after it because they are noisier. 213, that's low. Wait, no it's not. Should be 200k. I don't think I need them anyway because they were how did I learn my trade? Working on my own stuff, essentially. That and pure curiosity. That's that was a massively oversized resistor, so I won't use that. Metal film. 220. That's good. Yeah, like power supply droppers, for example. Just use anything there. You can use a metal oxide, whatever. Oh, Green Day. Takes me back to high school. I didn't realise Green Day were around in like the 80s. Been that long since I listened to them. I listened to them in high school, but 1.6. What is my trade? Cabinet maker and audio engineer. 3.4k. I'm professional dickhead. Landlocked fishmonger. What's that out of? Live or studio, both. Didn't really do much studio, but did a bit of live stuff. But point being, I studied it. Doesn't mean I really used it much, so I wouldn't really call myself even that anymore. Basically, my life has been a series of falling over and having to get up again, and having to retrain in various fields in order to pay bills. It hasn't been particularly glamorous or anything. It's Just been sort of one foot in front of the other. Get out of bed, figure out what I got to do to get people off my back that day, and move on to the next day. I studied at TAFE, Terry, in the Rimba campus. I went up to diploma. I don't think I had money to do advanced diploma. But, you know, I've forgotten most of it now, so what a waste of time that was. Still fun, though. Met a bunch of people I'm still mates with. Worked with a bunch of guys who were in the industry professionally. One of my old teachers came in the shop actually the other day. He's just a local muso now. I think he still teaches. Thanks for sharing your Saturday stream of the Leonard parts. I have a JTM 45KT 66 with new old stock parts that he built. Nice. He built one with new parts, one with NOS. As a blindfold test. Wow. See, I really wish he had video and stuff of that. That would have been fantastic. A lot of these older techs, they just couldn't give a shit about tech or anything online. Any thoughts or experience with vintage sound amps? Is that like one of those off-brands that's called different shit in every country? Is Vintage Sound the company name? Brand name? Oh, here's that song. It is what it is. See you, Lyle. Take it, squeezy bloke. Oh, just touched the mic, sorry. Sorry guys, just researching something one moment. Z5F. So I'm just looking up the temperature coefficient of these caps. Z5F didn't ring a bell. Z5R is terrible. No, not too bad. Z5V is terrible. Z5U is terrible. Z5F, not the end of the world. So that's in the oscillator. So I was just checking the temperature coefficient to see if it was one of those really peaky ones, because that would change the frequency as the amp warms up, change the frequency range, not by heaps, but noticeably. How often do you need to replace the ceramics in old fenders? Almost never. I don't think I've ever had a shorted ceramic in an old fender. That film cap's mangled. I don't think I need that with the new configuration anyway. But yeah, with film caps, you don't know how long they've sat on it with the soldering iron, so it could present leakage issues. So I'll put all the wiring and shit back in here. We've got 2 piles of caps. Those I'm not going to use, because they're either out of tolerance or not in the new configuration. I'll start a little bag of shame. I'll put all the wiring in there for now. I don't think I can use any of that. I'll recreate this little loomy thing without it being melted. So I'll leave that in one piece at the moment. Them I'll probably replace. Although we'll see. We'll see how they come up. I might be able to just clean those contacts. They've actually got quite a bit of spring to them, so we might leave them on. Oh, no. See, that one's been bent. Someone's tried to reuse the socket, and that never really works. Oh, come on. You can see there, they've grabbed it with the pliers and bent that outwards. The spring steel never really... Yeah, it doesn't take much effort to break that contact again. The springs, well, not spring steel, whatever the steel is made out of, it doesn't really like you doing that. This one's still nice and strong because that's input number 2, so that goes to show they almost never use input number 2. We might just say fucking recreate that. Doing everything else, eh? Them, probably going to replace with some fusible ones. Not that it's a biggie, because it doesn't have a cathode follower in this amp, so that's the most common place that they go open circuit when you get a heater, the cathode short and a cathode follower. $99K, that resistor can stay, assuming it's used in the new circuits. Get rid of that. We'll get on to populating our board, champions. Z5U is good for oscillator. I can't remember, hang on. Z5U is not great, no. So, let me just see if I can download something here. Alright, desk share. Example of variations of capacitance with temperature. So amps will go up and down by quite a bit. So here you in temperature, sorry. So here you're showing the percentage of capacitance with 0% being, where's the 0? 0% being there. So see the COG, that's perfect. No matter the temperature, it's always the same capacitance. And then you see Y5V, the worst. So it's literally like minus 60% at what, say 30 degrees below room temperature. And then you go up, say 50 degrees above room temperature, and it's minus 45-ish. Z5U is not much better. That's that sort of green, olive green one. So X5R, COG, or X7R are reasonable. There's others too. There's heaps of them, but yeah, that's a pretty big increase. Decrease, sorry. I know what I'm trying to say. Oh, new Jen Clower song. I like gin claw with me. Oh god, framing. These Tube Amp Doctor ones have really long leads. It's pretty good. I'm loving it. Copyright McDonald's. I don't suppose you guys have that McDonald's advertising campaign over there, eh? I'm loving it and whatnot. So I've got to redo the layout a bit, because we're getting rid of the boost thing. So that's the slope resistor. And you got 2 plates. Then you got... Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. And then you got 3 connections there. You've got plate load, plate load. And you've got 1, 2. Yeah, okay, so it's doable. We can do it without drilling any holes or putting any eyelets in, even though I could do that because I'd have the power. Yeah. I'm loving it. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it is everywhere. I thought it might have been just an Aussie thing. I'm loving it. I hate McDonald's. I can't eat the shit. It makes my stomach sore and makes me poo weird. No one wants to poo weird, do they? Yeah, I'm not a fan of McDonald's in any capacity. Alright, try and get everything lined up and pretty. Haven't had it since 95. Yeah, good move, Wes. That's probably why he's still alive, mate. So what are you working on today, Wes? Taco Bell. I had it once in the late 90s. Because I think they were owned by whoever owns Kentucky Fried Chicken over here. Because you get Taco Bell and Kentucky Fried Chicken like combo stores. And it was like, why does everyone rave about this? Because it was the 90s and it just came out. And I'd be watching like Beavis and Butthead and they go, yeah, Taco Bell. I'd be like, oh, shut up, Beavis. Dumbass. And so yeah, pop culture references. I thought, oh, we'll see what it's like. And it was just this slime liquid cheese on top. And I'm like, doesn't seem like Mexican food to me. And I was right, it kind of isn't. Akira Taco Bell. That Chihuahua. Chihuahua. 25. One more. The Yum Corp. Is that the company? Kentucky Hut. Is that what they own? That's all a big conglomerate, is it? I don't know. Not up on my fast food ownership, shareholder stuff. Well, now Lyle's gone. We can use some metal films, boys. He won't watch. He's busy. Metal film? Metal film? 3 metal films. Orange whip, orange whip. 3 orange whips. I don't know, should we use carbon comps? Don't really want to, eh? Darker bells for stoners? I don't think so. All the stoners over here are real health conscious. Stoners over here are usually the hippies, and they're like, I'm not putting anything except raw vegetables in my body. Equally insufferable, but you know. So I bought a shit ton of carbon comps. Oh fuck, overexposed like hell. Mystery meat tacos. Yeah. I make nachos and tacos and stuff at home because I slow cook skirt steak usually. I cook the skirt steak, I season fuck out of it, and I cook it over charcoal, real hot. And then I get it off, not fully cooked, just seared, just to get that sear. And then slice it into strips and put it in the slow cooker and cook it for like 12 hours. And it's sort of like pulled beef. It's fantastic. The whole house, the whole street smells like it. It smells so good. Oh, getting hungry thinking about it. Might go for a burrito. Take a burrito break. So we've got Guzman Y Gomez over here. They do good burritos. I'm not a massive fan of their nachos. We've got Mad Mex that do nachos. Oh god, I've only got 5 of them. Why didn't I order more of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I need. Use the ones that are only that are outside tolerance. They're not bubbly. Stoners in America eat pizza. What is a pizza roll? I don't even know what a pizza roll is. 108, that's intolerance technically. 104, that is. 111, that's not. $120. No, that's just the leads. 107. That is. Nah, you know what? If some are out of tolerance, they're all going to go out of tolerance. So what have we got on these ones? Now I'm second guessing everything I do. Normally I'd be done by now. That's already out of tolerance. You fucking... That's 114k. And it's a 10%er. Fucking CE distribution. Strikes again. Oh, don't tell me they're all fucking out of tolerance. I just spent like $400 on the fucking things. $97. 109. 118 for fuck's sake. 113. And 116. So don't buy carbon composition resistors from CE distribution. They supply them already out of tolerance. Let's test some of their lower power ones. Oh, they're playing the birthday party. Is it a birthday party? Yeah, I'll get my money back on them. It'll just cost me $20 to send them back to get $5 back. That's the reality of being in Australia. Alright, I think these look like a different brand. 93. It's pretty low. 103. 104. 105, 93, 90. So that's actually like 10% low. But they drift high. So yeah, really lose tolerance on those. That's why, like, you just can't get carbon comps anymore. And when you do, they're fucking worse than the ones you're taking out. So, fuck them. I think carbon film and metal film's the way to go for everything now, because I'm not playing the vintage zombie amp game and having amps come back every 3 weeks when another one fails. Fuck that. Zecon. Yeah, I think they are Zecon, Scotty. Cabbage instead of lettuce. For what? Yeah, Roland S, yeah. Alright, so Lyle's gone anyway, so we'll sneak some metal films in there while he's not looking. Fish Taco, that was a Dick Dale song. Probably for a different reason though. It's a little bit rude. So what's going on with Friedman's amp names? Like Pink Taco on that. It's a little bit cringe, isn't it? Great amps, but I think we're a bit beyond that. Ah, I got you, Scotty. Cabbage on fish tacos instead of lettuce. Yeah, that'd be better, eh? I gotta make some more sauerkraut. Coming up to Oktoberfest, boys. Yeah, it is cringy, isn't it? But it's just a bit alienating. Like, I want to see more women in music in general, as well as tech stuff too. Like, I don't want to see them intimidated in this sort of wink wink nudge nudge manner that still seems to be around. But hey, I don't know, there might be a story behind it that I'm unaware of. Whatever. I've got 0.8% female viewership. That's probably Mum and Michelle. And we've got a Laura there, so that's representation. I want to see that come up. I want to see it come up. I don't want it to just be a dude's hangout. I want it to be an everyone hangout. How would an amp name Big D sell? I'd buy that. Kimchi, yeah, that's like that's got chili in it, doesn't it, Victor? Doesn't Lyle use metal films or carbon comp? No, it uses carbon film for most places, but he uses carbon comp in some positions where there's a big voltage swing. Now, the thing with carbon comps is they're not linear when they're up in their upper voltage range. They sort of compress, and that in certain places becomes like a little compressor. And places where there's massive voltage swings, like using it in the plate loads of a PI, and in those positions it doesn't really matter about the noise that they introduce, because there's no gain after it, and it's very late in the signal chain. Peppers, yeah, okay. Music and tech has always been a sausage fest. Yeah, it's sad, Scotty. I want to see it more equal. Tech in general, tech isn't just a sausage fest. There's lots of female techs in, but they tend to be more in computer and like microcontroller stuff, automation, that kind of thing. Like Jerry Ellsworth, she's a bloody absolute beast of a tech. And like, you know, you've got Lady Ada, I can't remember her real name, from Adafruit. She runs the whole show. She's an absolute titan in the industry, and it's good to see. 15 Ungie. Nothing wrong with having one set of people more interested in something than another. Being snobby about it, though, is not cool. Yeah. I just want it to be a free-for-all, mate. Anyone can come here, regardless of any stuff. I think we've got a really good set of people here. I like it. Jerry the man hater. Who? Yeah, 0.8%. It's better than 0. We'll work on it. But, you know, I should probably stop swearing so much. BB, mate. Yeah, Princeton rebuild, mate. Funny working with vintage fenders and even new ones. There's a lady behind the assembly. Yeah, that's right. These were all built by women. We've got Adele on in the background. I'll just listen to Double J through the day when I'm concentrating. I can't be asked going back and changing the music. Yeah, change is happening. It's good to see. So the caps are covered in a bit of wax. Let's give them a quick test with our 600s. 600. Yeah, a favourite trick of mine to do is charge them up on the Mega and then throw them to someone. Here, catch. I think I said that in a previous stream and someone's like, they could have a heart problem. I'm like, dude, it's discharging across a square centimetre of your flesh on your hand. It's not going through your heart. And it's like a fraction of a microamp. Yeah, Colleen's representing. That's good. So who's going to get tacos? It's dinner time over there, isn't it? In the States. Oh yeah, how's that hurricane going in Canada? I've been meaning to get in touch with my mate Elaine and see how they. It looked like it calmed down a bit once it made landfall. Okay, I'm not a big fan of these caps either because it looks like the leads have been bent quite a bit. Should get a restream set up and stream over to Twitch too. Yeah, I heard that. I should start a Twitch account. It's mainly gaming though, isn't it, Six? Forced diversity is not so good. Yeah, I agree, Jim. You gotta set up. Gotta all work together and set it up so everyone can have a go. Have we heard of the Luth group? No. Rumble. What is Rumble? Isn't that the real toxic one? Los Angeles is probably the city with a higher amplifier. Yeah, well, Thriller Studios, RA. 8 PM here, 9 Monday evening here. You can stream whatever on the besides Brad Frags on Twitch would be good fun to watch. Yeah, I was thinking about doing some gaming. Do you guys game? Anyone here gaming? What games are you playing? Run that again, rude boy. What's this song name? Okay, there's something going wrong with this because it's showing. Oh yeah, Shellaverse, Sammy Virigi, and Flodan. That's what I'm listening to right now. Sorry, that was Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds before. The Mercy Seat. I thought it was a birthday party. I heard wrong. And next up, we've got Witch Hunt. Fleet Foxes. Yeah, if you want to tune in and listen to what I'm listening to, so we can have a big party. Here's the link, so you can listen to Double J along with me. Rumble, where those kicked off of YouTube go? Oh, why were they kicked off YouTube though? That's the question. Need a bit of alcohol. Yeah, so that Kenwood I was whinging about, that was a customer just before. He wants to go the whole works burger. He wants the best pot for the job. He's happy to pay whatever the labour cost is. Just wants it reliable. Wants it forever. And I just washed off the value of that cap, but I know it anyway, so that's fine. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Oh, I've got an ad button. Forgot about that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to hit an ad button so I can get some revenue. I've never used this. It's mainly a test just to see what it does. So can you tell me, do me a favor, tell me whether or not you get an ad right now. I'm going to boil a kettle. There we go. Did anyone get an ad? Oh, you got Team U. Oh, man, I wish those guys would fuck off. No ad, you got ad block. Good man. It's a shit and ad. No ads. I pay for premium, so do I. Premium. You've all got premium on your legends. Shit ad. No ads. Yeah, some people it gives ads, some it doesn't, I realised. Okay, so it's it does the thing. Hey, it's better than just random mid-roll ads, eh? With regard to Kenwood recap budget and finding similar with old Kenwood Marantz owners, they love their old amps. Yeah, they want them, and I'm the man to give them to them back in their fit and fighting condition. It's it sucks how much is required, but really, when you think about the maintenance and it's sat there, switched on probably pretty much every day for its life, it's pretty amazing that they've lasted as long as they have with pretty minimal, if any, maintenance. He seemed confused when I said someone had destroyed the volume pot. So I don't know if he took it to another tech and they did the damage. And they weren't honest with him about it, which is, let's face it, on past experience, that's pretty fucking likely, isn't it? But I'm glad he wanted to go ahead because we've put a lot of work into it and it's a labour of love now So I want to see it through. I've just got the hot air gun set to like 150. I'm just going to soften up this wax a bit. Here we go. Ow! Probably makes sense to put it in some kind of holder, eh? Jimmy! Thanks, mate. $5. $5 will get me a coffee. Might not get me an extra shot, but it'll get me a coffee. $6, $6.50. I pay $6.50? Yeah, $6.50 I pay for my coffee when I forget to buy milk or run out of coffee beans. Otherwise I make it at home. I did calculate the cost of coffee machine ownership back when I first ordered the I went to say BOFA. First ordered the Expa bar, and it works out to about a third of the cost of buying coffee out. And it's better and more consistent because it's not being made by a 16-year-old. I used to be a Sansui fan. I've had a few Sansuis that were really good. Dynaco, yeah, they're good. I think the Dynaco, one of the Dynaco ST50 something or 20 something, the volume pot is compatible with this one. It's got the same tap and it's same dimensions and same oh, that's American $5. Yeah, that's a beer. I could probably buy a coffee machine for that. Yeah. Our dollar is dog shit at the moment. I'm really trying to avoid ordering shit from overseas. It's almost 50%. It's fucking terrible. But that means that more Americans are buying stuff from here. And then we just get bent over on shipping and make no money. So, yay. Okay, so it's at $8.50. So it was about 60%, I thought. Yesterday it was. I don't know what it is now. 63 or something percent it was. Are you getting lots of US orders there? Six is crazy. He has international shipping on everything. So if you want something cheap, take advantage of the ridiculous exchange rate at the moment. Go over to Six's page and buy shit, and he'll ship it over. And he's actually got a pretty good deal on shipping because he's smarter than me and knows who to use. Go have a look at his second-hand shit. There you go. He's not having the best run of things because he got moved around in his shop from shop to shop and stuff. Moving, there's a lot of inertia there, so. How old is my Expa bar and how is it going? It's about 10 years old now. KBK Man, did you used to be called Kabuki Man? Or am I dreaming things? Did your handle change? Yeah, so the Expa bar is about 10 years old. All I've done was once I changed the pressure stat, and that's because when we first got it, I got impatient and ran some unfiltered water through it, and that probably blocked up the pressure stat. That was only about 2 years in, and it's been fine ever since. And yeah, just service it every couple of days. Do a backwash, flush thing, and probably once a week, to be honest. Let's be honest. And just descale it once every 6 months or so, and she's sweet. I need Ecoplex parts, and I have to order from AU. Shipping is as much as the parts sometimes. Yeah, it can be. Depends who they use and what the parts are. If you can get stuff flat, it's really, really cheap. Like 25 Australian is what it cost me to ship, say, up to 2 or 3 of those Blues Junior boards, because I ship a lot of them to the States. So it's about $25 Australian. That's what I charge, and I think it was like 22 something, and then the envelope's like $3, $2. Maybe time to try some Kinman pickups. Yeah, they are good. The doctor is in Emor. Yes, he is. We have Echo parts. Yeah, Coldacre, Echo Fix. He's a fucking genius. I've ordered some parts from him before, and I've got 2 Echo Plexes here, which I'm going to restore and sell. So I'll be in touch with him over those ones, because I'll need some bits and pieces, champions. Nice. I have the lever too. Oh, the Office lever too. It's going on 4 years. No, they're really good because they're very simple and they're very well built. I was tossing up what type to get for the shop so I never have to leave. And I was looking at the ECMs and even thinking maybe I'll try the Gadgia. You know, the $600-ish one. Sell Coldacre while you're in the market for one. I've got 2 Echo Plexes, the number 3, whatever it is. Let me have a look. Ah, it's buried under shit, too hard. I'm going to get a more comfortable seat. I've been sitting on this thing for ages. My arse is going numb. Damn, I got to tune the guitars. Gadgia Classic. Yeah, I've always wanted. Yeah, EP3. I got 2 of them. Got 2 of them, and I've got a Lexicon Primetime, which I've got to restore. Oh, that's dusty. That's more like it. Sit on my ass, nice and comfy. Holy shit, Behringer pedals are twice what they cost here. You're talking about on Six's site? Yeah, but hang on, that's Australian dollars. And Sweetwater's not a one-man show. And Six won't call you every day after you've purchased them, like Sweetwater will. Hi, you happy with your purchase? You'd fucking know about it if I wasn't, champion. But you would get one of those stickers that you can turn into a Sweetwater. Two AM. Shit, where are you towing electric there, Onyx? Europe somewhere. So, what I like doing with these, get them in the hole and then stick something in the hole. Fleet Foxes, that's who it was. I was trying to remember that band. Fleet Foxes. Sweetwater never calls me. Is that because you don't give him your number? Maybe they've stopped. Maybe they realised everyone was getting annoyed. That would be a smart business move, I guess. Well, he's send candy. He'll send you whatever you want, baby. You got any candy there, Six? Otherwise known as chocolate. You guys call chocolate candy. That's just weird. Put a touch of salt on there so they don't go walkabout. Not filling the eyelet. I've got a dot sticker on them, Pelicans. RE201 is a great box, as is the 501. Most get modded, most get grabbed by studios. If you tell them not to call you, they won't call you. Oh, okay. Sweet. Last I heard, didn't matter what you say, they still fucking call you. I've never dealt with them, so. Try not to burn my own cap. Alright, so we've got 1500 there, 2200 there. So where's the 2200? That's at 33. Did I not have a 2200? Oh, that's mounted on the back, of course. Yeah, so we'll have to replace that because we're redoing that. So a 2200. I was going to use the 201 for live mixing, decided against it. No one makes you answer the phone. What? Really? $1,500, $2,200. These leads only just make it. Candy equals sweets and chocolate. Candy. WRT Echoes and 3 Korg SD D3000s on the bench right now. Wow, I really didn't realise they still use them. Yeah, a lot of the rack stuff's making a comeback, man. It's like the SPX, Yamahas. People are yearning for the 80s, dude, because it's our generation's nostalgia. Just like previous generations yearn for the stuff from the 50s, the Beatles stuff and whatever they used. People yearn for the stuff that was made to produce, used to produce the music they grew up on, essentially. And now that's the 80s trash. Alright, so that's those ones, and we need to 1500 and 3300. 3300 is for the trem oscillator. Gen X? No, I'm not. It's all bullshit anyway, but I'm 39. Gen X is like 50 something now, aren't they? No, I might be off there, I don't know. I'm on borderline. I'm generation borderline. Personality disorder. Some of my favourite guitarists use what is considered pretty rubbish gear by a lot of people. Yeah, just use whatever works. Listening to me through a Crown DC-300. Nice. Yeah, most of my viewership's around the 45 to 55, I think, mark, according to the analytics. But, you know, anyone could put any age in, so... I got asked for the date of birth from a website the other day, and fucked if I'm giving any information online. Every week we hear about a new hack that's released all our information to the dark web. So I just put down that I was born in like 1901, and it still accepted it. I think it was just like an alcohol whiskey manufacturer or something. So yeah, it's just got a 120 something year old here buying our whiskey. You're only as old as you feel, Nigel. Alright, all bypass caps and bias resistors in place for the front end. Let's start rebuilding the tone stack. 100k, how are our slope resistors doing? Out of tolerance. The slope resistor, sorry, I'm thinking I'm working on a deluxe. I think that's a Customer Legends. .250 puff. Treble cap. Lay it down, stay out of the way of the leads floating around near it. What circuits did you put those 4 metal films in? They're plate loads. The grid leaks are 1 meg. When you're 70, you'll be in pushing daisies. How do you know? When we're 16, we reckon we wouldn't live to 30, but... Learn drinking and electronics in the Marines. Good a place as any. Just getting sick of this getting caught on stuff. Get rid of what we've done so far. That your heartbeat we can hear? I hope not. No, there's music in the background. It's just probably picking up a bit of the bass from that. I don't think I've got a high pass set on it. Probably could have. Yeah, well, that was state of the art back then, wasn't it? Everything was tube. The board's a little bit flexy, but it'd be nice to have another screw in the center. They were a tough generation. Let's get the Mega out and we'll test the board for leakage, and I'll also test some of these film caps, and then I'll shock myself because it's funny. Where is it though? That's the question. In my tool case, yes. What? No, it's not. Where is it? Oh, that tool case smells like vomit. Because of the Exolite screwdrivers. Alright, where do I put it then? Oh, staring me in the face. Shock therapy. Yeah. Got a 500 volts. Just check these points here, which are known to be a bit of a thing. No leakage there. Let's just zero the movement out. No movement at all. I should have checked it before we removed the shit, and shown you the leakage. And the other point that's critical is down here. So there's no movement at all. I have like 17 meters. What? Of what? 17 meters of what? So we're not showing any leakage at all, which is fantastic. Let's test the cap. So that's it being charged. Now that would be charged, and I'd get shocked if I touched it. So put it across a 1 meg resistor, and all will be well. I can touch one lead, just not both at once. Let's just put it so you can see it. So when I charge it, there'll be an initial rush of current. See that? And then it'll settle down to fuck all, which is what you want. Now that would have 500 volts on it, so we don't really want to touch that, and we don't really want to fully discharge it instantaneously, so I'll just grab a 1 meg and throw it over it. See what's on it now. Fuck all. How long it takes to charge. Discharge, sorry. This is where I get sidetracked. It's fun, legends. I've had a few donations today, so I feel like I should give you something interesting. So say, for example, we don't put any resistance across it at all, except for the impedance of the meter. Drops pretty rapidly. Goes down to nothing after about 5 seconds. So it's just showing you the caps charging and discharging. And not a hint of leakage, so good. That one's alright. That one's alright. These blue caps, they're generally fine. Normally that's when I get a bad one, right after saying it. Alright, legends, so I'll probably cut it off in 15 or so. And just go and finish rebuilding this thing. It's not a terribly entertaining stream. I just thought I'd give you a quick bonus one to catch up. So that's the 3.3 meg. I think I'll go a metal film for the 3.3 meg for lower noise, because that is a point where it is kind of critical. Can't reach my drawers because of the light. I just use Dad's trick because he's a short ass. He picks them up like that. The needle nose pliers gives him an extra 6 inches. And who couldn't use that? Used to cap spike people in school. That's naughty. Oop. That's the reverb mix resistor. Pop her in. And the 10 pico that goes across it. It's a 250, that's a 22. Do we not have a 10 pico? Maybe there's a 22 in it. Huh. Just grab a V-shape, 10 puff, we'll recreate the 1164 circuit. Nice little Vichy. That whole 3.3 meg reverb circuit is dumb. Okay. What's your gripe with it, Terry? That's noisy. Yeah, there are better ways. This is a very simple way though. Oh, just keep touching the mic. Sorry, legends. I forget it's. Ah, you fucker. That's still charged, that one. Maybe the other ones are leaky. Or it needs the impedance of the meter. I just gave myself a nip from one of the other caps. That's a good one. Got myself. Fucking dickhead. So maybe I thought it was self-discharging, but they hang on to it for quite a while. Must be the meter discharging it. Bit of harmless fun, eh? They should all have... Sorry. They should also have ported left-hand... What? Ported left-hand twin channel to rev vibrato. I'm not sure what you're saying there, mate. Can you just rephrase that? Yeah, the meter's discharging them rapidly. I didn't think the meter would have that much of an impact. It must be lower impedance than I thought it was. The owner of this amp is watching. I'm taking a bit longer than I should be, legends, because I'm talking shit with you guys. When I get off stream, I'll get her wrapped up pretty quickly. I want to have this thing up and running mid-afternoon, or say that's pretty unrealistic, by the end of the day, and then move it on and get back to that Super 6 reverb thing. Oh, I should have ported the left-hand twin channel to the reverb and vibrato. Gotcha. I know what you mean now. Alright, all the caps are discharged. I'm an idiot. Point 1. Yeah, the owner of this video was watching. He has viewed the edited videos, but because this is work hours over here, it's pretty rare that people can jump on, local guys can jump on and watch during the day, because they're all busy working, unless they've got office jobs or something where they can pretend to work while they're watching YouTube. These caps have got seriously chunky leads. Tough as nails. It makes them a little bit stiff where they enter the body of the cap, though. You got to be careful to not put the load right on where it enters. See you, Paul. Take it easy, legend. Brad, what was that site he said to look out for fender chassis? I'll just see if I got it. Yep. I don't know about the legality of them because they use Fender logos and shit. But hey, I'm not the one selling it. Personally, I just buy their chassis and either make my own faceplate or just use the generic ones from Tube Amp Doctor. Real men discharge caps on their tongue. Fuck, that would hurt, man. Hurts just thinking about it. I'm going camping in a couple of days, legends. The channel has grown a little bit quicker than expected, but like not, you know, all I'm saying is we're probably going to hit 5,000 subscribers a bit earlier than I thought. I thought it would be sometime in November. Looks like it might happen maybe next week. So that's cool. That's very cool. But what I'm getting at is it might happen while I'm away. So I was going to do a little something special for you legends. There you go, Mark. But I might have to do it when I get back, is what I'm getting at. Yeah, so these stock caps, the thickness of their leads is a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. Because you're trying to get a lead for 3 components and a wire through one eyelet. So sometimes you've got to jam a soldering iron in there to get enough leeway. Which is a little bit sucky. Peter Carroll, how you going, man? How's that speaker cabinet treating you? I built Peter, if it's you, Peter. I think it's you. We never met. Did we? No, I sent you the, yeah, I posted it to you. That's right, that's shit shy. Trying to ship a massive speaker cabinet to a suburb that kind of doesn't exist. Got there in the end. Yeah, well, that's a good place to buy. Just the chassis then, BB made. With the price of them, it sort of still works out okay, even if you just sell the face plates or save them for another project. Oh, that wasn't you, Peter. Different Peter Carroll. Oh, Carol Ann. Sorry, I'm getting you mixed up with someone else. This is what I'm saying. I associate names on YouTube as names on YouTube and customers as customers, but sometimes they cross over and other times I thought they cross over and they don't. So, sorry, Peter. You do your own stuff. Okay, right. So there was a Peter Carroll that I sent a 1x15 cabinet that I built too, but you're not him. So never mind. Carry on. You build your own, do you? Cool. What kind of stuff do you build, mate? Yeah, there's this suburb near our sort of snow fields in Jindabyne. I was trying to ship something. It's pretty rural. I'm trying to ship a oversized, overweight speaker cabinet to this bloke, and it didn't register on the courier's page as an address, so it ended up at the local corner store. So I'm trying to explain to them that he told someone to leave it at the corner store, and they had no knowledge of it. It was just a massive shit fight. But he got it in the end, and that's what matters. You'll keep. Settle down, mate. I'm asking you what you build, Peter. What do you make? You make your own cabs? You make your own stuff? You said stuff. Does that mean amps and cabs? Rebuilt Marshall 8080, including cabinet combo. Well, there you go. Valve state. 500 puff, and there's a 1 mega. And that was within tolerance, 'cause it's in that pile, but I'll double check it. Oh, helps if you plug the leads back in, not the alligator clips. Ooh, ABBA. .05 meg. Free broken chassis, took it from there. Sweet. It's always fun rebuilding stuff, eh? It's good for the soul. That's why I don't mind doing these jobs. They're pretty satisfying. Never watched someone build on an eyelet before. Populating PCB is much faster. How does turret compare to eyelet in build time? Turret's probably a bit longer. Depends if you've got to punch the board yourself. This is only taking ages because I'm trying to reuse parts, Travis. Otherwise I'd just fucking populate it in all one go. I'm checking tolerances and stuff, and I'm fine-tuning the leads, cleaning them and stuff as I go. So, you know, normally it's not this much of a shit show, but good thing we love it, eh? 003. So that's the .12X7 coupler, which is 500 pico on there. Oh no, sorry, that's the other triad, 003. So that was one of the caps that they had, one of those shitty film caps. So I'll just go get something nice for that. Sorry, legends, you got to enjoy the ASMR of me fishing around through Ziploc bags. Because I haven't put stuff away yet when I should have. 332, that's our jam. Oh, I don't like those leads. Hang on. 332. They're the leads that I like. Hey, 630 volt. Doesn't matter. It's only a 3amp coupler. 630, 400 would do. I like using 630 everywhere though. About the same cost. So that is the reverb output coupler. So why are you down there? To get away from that connection. Yeah, that makes sense. Now I like putting bus wires on top. Oh, we're out of focus, you fuck. Because then at a glance you know what's connected to what, right? I'm not a big fan of underboard connections. It looks all pretty and shit, but I'm a tech, not a Instagram amp fanboy, so I like having them on top so you can see at a glance what's connected to what and see that the owner, that the rebuilder followed the circuit, or if they made any mods, what mods did they make. And that's that one that goes to there. Two. So do you guys over in the States do much for Oktoberfest? Probably not as much as us, because you're not as alcoholic as your typical Australian. I can feel that eyelet because nothing's going to it. That's just, it's actually pretty good. That cap there, they've moved it away from this essentially power supply node there. So there's less leakage because you're further away from the eyelet, so that's good. It's lunchtime legends. It's not too big over there. Okay. Midwestern folk have Oktoberfest. Lots of German knuckleheads. It's 2,700 for the plate. Hang on. Okay, so that's the oscillator. 2,700. And that's the one that's normally on the back. Sorry, I'm just speaking to myself, talking to myself here. Sorry in advance for my rambling. I don't like putting anything in until I've confirmed where it is and what it's doing. When I'm going from this layout, which wasn't the same layout as the 1164, because it had the boost shit. There's a few differences to the eyelet layout, so I might have to make some slight changes, but nothing too dramatic. Alright, so that's the feedback resistor and the 2747 to ground. Yeah, that's the voltage divider for the negative feedback. So, do we have a 27 that we can trust? I think that was the one that was through the roof. No, I don't use lead-free solder. Oh, what am I doing? 27, not 47. $27. 2,900. Should be right. Growing up in Pennsylvania, eastern US, town had a large weekend festival out on the west coast. I didn't see many festivals. There's a Bavarian village in the mountains with 1 but 6-hour trip. Wow. We've got a German club out at Luddenham, which isn't too far, but it got bought by, I don't know, one of these conglomerates, and they just filled it with pokies and lost all its character. And before that, it was family owned. It had real German beer and stuff. It was really cool. Now it's just another gutted shithole owned by a multinational fucking corporation. And they built the airport right next to it. We're getting a new airport, champions. It's huge. You really got to drive past it to get a sense of the scale of it. It's ridiculously large. Everyone tried to fight it, but, you know, money wins the game every time, doesn't it? 47 ohm. 47 ohm. It's 53 ohm. Oh, let's use it. Now I'm going to have to change the layout here. Oh, hang on. Did I screw something up here? I believe I did. What is the putty you use to put under stuff? It's called Blue Tack. BLUTAK. It's meant for putting up posters and stuff. Where do I live? That's a bit personal, Terry. Follow me on OnlyFans, I'll tell you. I live near here. I don't know what silly putty is. I live in the lower Blue Mountains. New South Wales, Australia. Alright, so that's our tail. Not tail, because it's not a long tail. It's our feedback to the cathode of the phase inverter. Sorry, the driver. 47, that's got the 1500. 47, that's got the 1500. That goes there. That goes there. She goes like that. Kids toy putty. Right, is it sticky? I gotta put the BOFA on. It's getting smoky in here. It's really hard to fit all these components in that hole. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leads, and then a wire's got to fit in there somewhere too. We'll get it. We'll get it. Alright, so this is Blue Tack. It's sort of sticky. But not sticky, if you know what I mean. Like dust and shit sticks to it, but it doesn't. You almost grew up in Lapston. Oh, okay. We had a house built at the last minute. Dad changed jobs instead. Was he in the Air Force there, Terry? Because Lapston's right where the RAF base is. I live in Mount Riverview. Grew up in Glenbrook. Alright, so that's our feedback network. I use Rodico putty. Jeweler watchmaker's putty. Nice. That sounds expensive though. Yeah, I didn't think Blue Tack was Australian, but maybe it is. BLUTAK. Blue Tack. Used to hold my Farrah Fawcett poster up with that. Boom. Can't argue with Farrah Fawcett. Turned a few people's faucet on, I believe. Alright, so that hole is no longer used. Oh, it should have been. Oh, I fucked up. Okay. Whoops. Alright, so I screwed up 2 locations because I was looking at chat. So I've got to get some of these again and put one over here because I've cut the leads off. Got to go from there to that either. Not that it makes a hell of a lot of difference. Just there's a resistor coming back from this one down here, and then that connects to the reverb pot. So if I do it arse about, it's just going to be a bit of a shit. So Blue Tack is good for cleaning turntable styling. I never thought of that. I suppose I would get the chunks of stuff off it. So I think I'm going to leave it about here, legends, and it's just on 12 o'clock, so I'm pretty hungry, and it's time for a cup of tea, and I'm starting to make mistakes because I'm talking to chat, so I think I'll take off. Thanks for watching again. Got the Rivera stuff coming out, and then stay posted as soon as that's out. Probably do another live stream on Saturday if I've got time, and we have some videos of this completed and some sound samples, and I'll show you that test with and without with and without the phase inverter grid stopper, just to show you the difference. So take it easy, legends. I'll see you on the next one.